Bounty hunters are the coolest characters of all time. This is a fact which I have measured with real science. You can find them in video games, TV shows, and movies, but you're gonna find the 10 coolest ones right here on this list. So hey, I'm Nervous Nick for Screw Attack's Top 10 Bounty Hunters.
Number 10.
Imagine the coolest guy ever wearing a poncho. Are you picturing Bruce Willis in Unbreakable? Or maybe Qui-Gon Jinn? No. You're imagining this guy. I don't really know his name, and that's also kind of the point. The man with no name has got to be one of the most iconic bounty hunters in film history. It's Squint Eastwood at his finest and squintiest. The man of few words and even fewer names isn't your typical cowboy hero from those westerns your dad liked to watch. He's an anti-hero who writes his own rules. Even though he put away outlaws and killed bad men, we root for him because he's the best gunslinger on the hunt for his next bounty.
Number 9.
On any list of bounty hunters, you're bound to find a lot of people wearing hats and boots of the cowboy persuasion. But none are quite like Dr. King Schultz from Django Unchained. Dr. Schultz hunts down his bounties with precision and dispassion. It's a business for this former dentist. That is, until he meets Django and decides to help him reunite with his wife. It's almost a classic bounty hunter tale. Schultz sacrifices his bounty hunting and eventually his own life for the sake of his new friendship. The big difference is this story is gift-wrapped in Quentin Tarantino's brutal, gory violence. Side note, do we think this guy was ever a good dentist?
Oh, very well.
Number 8.
And here's another cowboy who defines his own sense of justice. The first time I saw Jonah Hex, the first question in my mind was, how does he eat or drink? I mean, seriously, that's gotta be really inconvenient, to say the least. But regardless, his reputation alone has led people to believe that he's got supernatural abilities. But in reality, he's just that good of a bounty hunter. One who has held his own alongside superheroes. I mean, he even took down Batman once. DC's got a lot of really cool bounty hunters, some you may even see later on this list. But as for classic cowboy hunters, Jonah Hex makes his mark.
Number 7.
While it may not be the oldest profession, bounty hunting is, I don't know, what would you say, like the 50th oldest? I don't know, it's been around a long time. So any hunter who can reinvent the wheel and do something different deserves a spot on our list. And the Stranger from Oddworld fits the bill. Kinda like Dog the Bounty Hunter, the Stranger doesn't like guns. Instead, he rocks custom-made, double-barrel, semi-automatic crossbows with live ammo. Literally live ammo. How crazy is that? He kills a thing with another living thing. That's like 2 birds with 1 stone to the extreme, if the stone was a bird.
Number 6.
The strong suit of the F-Zero series is its insanely high-speed racing. I mean, that's obvious, right? Kinda goes without saying. It also goes without saying that there's only one Mach speed racer viable for our list. The professional racer / bounty hunter, Captain Falcon. He's like Dom from the Fast and Furious, but as a futuristic bounty hunter. He's legendarily skilled, he settles fights with races, and always beats the bad guy in the end. I can't tell you how happy I would be if the Fast and Furious series was just a prequel to an F-Zero film this entire time. But while we all fantasize about how awesome that would be, let me leave you with this. What is Captain Falcon's favorite drink? Apple Fanta! What'd you expect?
Number 5.
Being a bounty hunter means you've got to be strong enough to bring in some of the biggest and toughest people. And that's especially true in the DC universe. Enter Lobo on his Space Hog. This guy wiped out all life on his home world, has been banned from heaven and hell, and went head-to-head with Superman. Setting aside the fact that Lobo looks like the lead singer in a Kiss cover band, that chain and hook he uses to take people down would seriously make me think twice before heckling his band. Also, does anybody else think that Jason Momoa would have been a better Lobo than Aquaman?
There's a lot of things that went through my mind. And I was thinking like Lobo. Yeah. I was like,
oh, turns out literally the whole world does.
Number 4.
So, Boba Fett is probably the first person you think of when you're talking about Star Wars bounty hunters. Oh, heck, he's probably up there when you're talking about bounty hunters, period. And at this point, we could compare the ups and downs of his film appearances with his extended universe stuff, But instead, I think we should go with someone who has Boba beat on both fronts. Cad Bane is a Star Wars space cowboy with a lot more than just a pair of laser pistols. He's got rocket boots, a flamethrower, tasers, and then some. Bane has proven over and over that he's smart enough and skilled enough to break people out of prison, take a room full of senators hostage, and go head-to-head with a couple of Jedi. Yeah, that's right. Bounty Hunter Bane beat Boba on both battlefronts.
Number 3.
If we're talking about the coolest bounty hunters, we might have our winner right here. Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop might as well be that cliched cool guy we all went to school with. More often than not, Spike's too cool to care, and he just goes with the flow. Whatever happens, happens, right? Being so skilled in martial arts allows him to embrace every situation and still keep a cool head. He almost thrives on spontaneous chaos because that's when he gets to improvise solutions and, well, just do his thing. Ooh, that's cool! And oh yeah, he flies around on a spaceship and hunts people down like a space cowboy. You know, I almost feel like this list could have just as easily been top 10 cowboys. We're practically there already.
Number 2.
Oh boy, Slade Wilson, the extremely skilled and enhanced bounty hunter otherwise known as Deathstroke. This guy was practically built for bounty hunting. Even though he looks like an old man on the outside, he's like the world's most perfectest dude on the inside. He's a brilliant tactician, skilled in every fighting style, and even has a healing factor. On top of that, he's equipped with some heavy-duty gear and armor, which makes him a serious threat for even the strongest of heroes. Deathstroke took down most of the Justice League on his own. Seriously, if you haven't read that comic, do yourself a favor and check it out. Mr. Stroke is freaking awesome, and bonus points for being the best villain in Teen Titans.
It's number 1.
All right, hang up your hats, everyone. We're done. The best bounty hunter on this list isn't a cowboy and does not frequent standoffs, Mexican or otherwise. The best of the best is the protector of the galaxy, Samus Aran. There's so much we could say about Samus. We could talk about her being raised to be a warrior and infused with Chozo DNA, or her iconic power suit and gallery of gear, the missiles, the speed booster, the power bombs, the laser grappling hook thing. There are so many reasons that Samus screw attacked, all the way up to the top of this list, but at the end of the day, few bounty hunters are willing to sacrifice everything to achieve their goals, and even fewer are as accomplished and recognizable as the hunter Samus Aran. Plus, you remember that time she beat Boba Fett? Awesome. For our secret number 11, let me paint you a picture. You need someone tracked down, you're stressed, you're hungry, but you don't have time to cook anything. So you get a man that can do both. Ice the bounty hunter from Arrested Development only hunts to support his love, catering.